Right marijuana? That is the purpose of this meeting, ladies and gentlemen.
Marijuana is referred to as Mary Jane, pot, weed, or tea.
Man, Michoacan, man, Acapulco Gold, man. I even smoke that fat stick.
We're smoking reefer.
The realest thing smoking on the internet. The Podheads.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's 420 on another hashtag Weed Wednesday.
Yeah.
You're in the Cypher with the Podheads. This is your commander-in-chief. Heavy on the chief, baby. Frank the Tank, a.k.a. Jimmy Puffett. And it's always 420 here in Marijuanaville. Hanging with my very best bud, JB Perez.
Yeah, what's up? That's right, JB Perez in the Cypher, the Podhead Cypher once again on a hashtag Weed Wednesday. You heard of the captain, the commander-in-chief. Said it right now, we love cannabis. Shout out to you. We're live everywhere. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, WJHN102Gems.com. Thank you guys for sticking with us. And let's get to another good show, sir.
That's right, folks. Thanks for sticking with us here on the Podheads. WJHM102jams.com is the website that hosts us, is the radio station that hosts us. So shout out to the guys out there. ThePodheads.com, at Podheads Web Show, all over social media. Also, shout out to Set Gang.
Hey.
Where's my mask, man? Sunny Talent hooked it up today with a very cool mask here from Set Gang South. That's his crew.
Shout out
at Set Gang South on social media, all that good stuff. At Sunny Talent, great.
Sunny
music.
Talent is a big
Great
friend
battle.
of the big friend of the podcast, big friend of the Podheads. I got mine too over there, Second South. I can't wait to go to another one of his battle raps. Right.
The battles are
I'm
awesome.
itching for it.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a good one, folks. We have some interesting topics to talk about. Matt Gaetz,
To say the least.
is back in the news
Again.
and related to cannabis. This guy, dude, I don't know what the hell is going on. The more I want to stay away from politics in Florida, the more I'm just thrusted
Just psychs you
back
back,
into
bro.
it. Yeah,
Especially this guy.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about both Gateses, Matt Gaetz, Bill Gates, and his divorce, and possible ties to Epstein. And we're going to talk about the economic impacts of cannabis.
Okay.
So it's going to be really good. You heard me call it
topics.
Marijuanaville. Hopefully I don't use that very much. I said it before and I'll say it again. I do not like the term marijuana.
Yeah.
It's offensive. It's made up. And, just because the government made it to scare white people.
I like it.
From Mexicans. I'm just like, I'm out completely on the word. So cannabis.
Cannabis,
Weed, bud,
right.
devil's lettuce, whatever the hell you want to call it. Just don't
I'm
call
with
it
it.
marijuana.
Hashtag get that marijuana out.
Yeah, exactly.
Something
Anyway, so before we do this, before we smoke, we have our wonderful weed wheel of destiny.
The only reason I'm here, folks.
And we're going to do this as we always do. So I don't remember who it's on.
I don't either,
I'm gonna
sir.
let it spin it
Please,
there. Let's
because
see what we
last
got.
time we unboxed the volcano.
We did
and I'm
unbox
really
the
kind of
volcano.
hoping the volcano makes a presence today. Let's see what it is.
So the question was,
Hey, does that count? I think so.
what? I guess viewer's choice or smoker's choice. JB said he wanted a volcano, so I'll whip the volcano.
All right, whip it out.
Let's
We're
do
going to
it.
do the volcano. If we weren't here last week, we unboxed this badass volcano. And I'll save you all the details because there really isn't the details. You turn it on and you smoke. That's how freaking awesome this thing is.
The volcano.
Guys, shout out to Germans all around the world for making good products here.
Got to break out my bag for this one. I got my
Oh,
little
that's
bag
right.
here. Yep. And don't forget your valve. And yeah, let me plug it in.
Oh, man. If you're watching us out there, let us know what you're smoking. I mean, we let the wheel of death decide for us, but we all have our preferences, you know?
Yeah, we let fate decide just to have fun with it because there's more than one way to skin a cat, more than one way to smoke some weed. So we figure we'll let the wheel decide, and either way we'll get baked.
Yep. Let me go get my bag real quick while you do that, sir.
Woo! Yeah. So what are we talking about? We got the hold on, let me get my. There we go. I just needed to plug in. Excuse me for 1 second, folks. Anyway, we appreciate anybody out there watching right now on live. Of course, you can catch the replays.
Look at that
Hold
thing.
on. Let me plug this. We got technical difficulties.
There's no that you want to get it right. I mean, this thing is the bee's knees. Like, I can't stop talking about how good this volcano is.
The cat's pajamas. All right, so yeah, the volcano's cool as hell, right? You just heat it up to its desired temp, and it's heating up right now. Fill it with some bud, and there you go. It's a great way to vape. It's the only way to vape, if you ask me.
Yeah, and you'll watch as the show progresses, you will see how awesome this thing is.
Yeah,
as we
we're definitely gonna get big. So what's going on? What's going on in the news right now? Big things. If you have been to a gas station in America in the last 24 hours, you've probably seen this guy.
Asshole.
Yeah. And what is it? What is going on? If you haven't known, or if you don't drive, is very simple. There's not a gas shortage. Let me say this. There isn't a gas shortage, but because the gas Colonial, I believe the name of the company is Colonial Pipeline. They were hacked recently by a company named DarkSide. Not a company, but a group of hackers named DarkSide. So they got hacked and they shut down some of their pipeline.
Yeah, it was like a ransom thing, right? Like pay up.
Ransomware attack. It started Thursday, and they stole about 100 gigs of data. Okay, and what it was is a part of a double extortion scheme, basically just trying to scare them, saying, hey, we're going to put all this information out if you guys don't pay us. But they really didn't have any control of they didn't really have any control whatsoever of the pipeline. They couldn't go in and stop the gas, couldn't go in and dilute it or mess with the chemical properties. They just stole some data and said, pay us or we're going to screw you. By the way, the spokesperson for Colonial Pipeline said, we ain't paying shit.
Good.
They can keep the information. But the Colonial Pipeline is pretty big. They service airports, 7 airports. They operate in 14 states. It's the biggest pipeline in the U.S. for that kind of, petroleum.
Sure.
And it covers over 5,500 miles. Over 100 million gallons per day is going through this thing. So it's pretty big. Just goes from Texas up the East Coast. And I'm pretty sure I have a picture here. There you go. So as you can see, from Houston to New York. Yeah. It is pretty significant. But because they got hacked and because they shut down a couple parts, just being careful, okay, this started a craze. And you ended up with people at the pumps, right? 18 states declared a state of emergency
for a gas shortage.
Now, be granted, Ron DeSantis here in Florida, we love to talk about DeSantis. He did declare a state of emergency. And one might think, or jumping to conclusions, that this is, oh my God, why did they declare a state of emergency? They're going to try to lock us in and it's more control. But actually what it does is it allows less restrictions and less weighing, so that more trucks and more companies can bring more fuel into the state. Okay. And it creates stricter penalties for price gouging. So any of those scumbag gas stations out there that want to try and raise the prices of gas because they read headlines about this gas pipeline being hacked, it'll make it illegal for them to do so.
Okay. I appreciate it. It sounds good, but I'm gonna take every opportunity I can to shit on DeSantis because it's just what I do. It's what JB's. It's my show. I'm gonna talk whatever I want. DeSantis. My problem with it is that the Colonial Pipeline, from what I could tell, doesn't service Florida. Like, it does not service Florida, and I think if it does, it's like a very small panhandle. Like,
we're talking about like southern Georgia.
It's not
maybe
Florida.
We get it from there.
Okay, so again, it does not service Florida. So there is a shortage here in Florida. Okay, why is that happening? It's not because of no damn pipeline. It's because of that picture right there that you put up.
Yeah, it's because of assholes like this. That's why there's a shortage right now.
That's why.
Because as soon as news breaks, you have these armchair quarterbacks, these freaking, these guys who think that they know everything, right? They think they know what's about to happen. They're headline readers is what it is.
Exactly.
And then they rush to the pumps. This guy is a carpet cleaning service. And, I hate to put his business out there and I hope that I don't cost the guy anything. But Big Ace jumped in and was like, he's gonna freaking he would throw the guy's gas cans in the street. I almost thought about confronting the guy. Would you confront somebody like this?
You know what?
If you saw them,
I probably would not confront it. I mean, I would just stand and look like, yeah, you're the asshole. I'm not gonna kick his gas cans.
Yeah,
to
people
the
were
street.
passing by people like that and like shaking their heads.
Exactly, and that's probably likely what I would do. But that's the problem. Like in Florida, there's a gas shortage directly because of that, because of the it's toilet paper all over again. Remember that shit when coronavirus started and all
Toilet
the Karens
paper,
and Kevins were started hoarding? That's what it is. You see the pictures, and I've seen dozens more on the online. So again, Colonial Pipeline has nothing to do with Florida. Okay, the fuel shortage in Florida is due to panic buying. And again, I'm a shit on DeSantis. There really wasn't no need to do a state of emergency like other states should be doing because of that. You understand? Like, it just, fear-mongering is a word that comes to mind, but just clickbaity. It's all just, it feels very smoke and mirrors when we're talking about DeSantis, and this just adds to that book for me, man.
So you feel
No
like
need.
it's possibly
There's no need.
Like there's something else. Like there's something behind the scenes happening, and that's the thing. I as a pothead, we are conspiracy theorists, and I try. Okay, I don't consider myself a ridiculous journalist, but I try to maintain fair and balance. But listen, we got to go to break. So I'm going to let JB hit his bag. When we come back, we're going to talk more about this, and we're going to get into the Gaetzes. So stay tuned. It's the Podheads Web Show.
The Cannabis Show would like to thank Boggy Creek Airboat Adventures for being one of our sponsors. I got to go on an airboat and saw a real gator. I even got to go to the gem mine and mine for some gems. We ate a steak dinner at the restaurant and even got some gator bites. If you want to have a blast with the entire family, I suggest you go to www.bcairboats.com right now. Get your tickets today. The website again is bcairboats.com. Oak Ridge Gun Range is a family-oriented shooting range that has been in business for over 30 years. They specialize in basic firearm training and offer numerous services such as consignments, gun trades, gunsmithing, and concealed weapon classes. I even got my training for gun safety at Oak Ridge Gun Range. Great customer service, and firearm safety is what they do best. So find out more at oakridgegunrange.com. Mid-State Fire has been providing top-quality fire equipment services for 3 generations to the Central Florida area. Don't wait for an emergency to repair. Call Mid-State Fire today at 407-246-8855. Get your fire extinguishers and emergency lighting for both your home and businesses by visiting www.midstatefire.com. That number again is 407-246-8855.
The Tiberia Show would like to thank one of their dedicated sponsors, Custom Designs Orlando. These guys are on Mills Avenue and do all sorts of stuff, ranging from photo ID badges, engraved signs, custom braille ADA signs, vinyl lettering to trophies and awards. The cool part about Custom Designs is they can ship products all over the United States. You can reach them at 407-898-0373 and tell them that
Tiberius
sent you.
All right, you're back in the Cypher with the Podheads. It's your boy JB and Frank the Tank doing our thing. We're hitting some bags here, man.
Balloons.
Let me get in here nice and close to get in the shot. But we got our little vape bags here on the volcano. Doing it as we always do.
Yes, sir.
You already know. So we started talking about, or we left off
The pipeline.
talking about the pipeline, DeSantis.
Panic, all that stuff.
And to be honest with you,
Relax, everybody.
yeah, people just relax. Put
Seriously.
the damn gas cans away. What do you think is a fair amount? Like, what would you say is a fair amount of? I say a tank and a gas can.
And one gas tank.
One gas
5-gallon gas tank. Yeah, in case you
that
have...
could be for anything. I need to fill up my lawnmower. You know what I mean? Just normal stuff.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And especially in a time like this, you have to be controlled. You have to control yourself, but DeSantis
some people think
should
it's
be
on the gas
controlling
station.
that.
Some people think it's on the gas. You think it's on the government or the gas station to tell people how much gas they're allowed to get?
Like I said, I'll take a shot at DeSantis. Instead of declaring this, declare something like, hey, you only get one or some extra fee, or you got to pay extra or something. You know what I mean? I understand the price gouging, but you are causing the deficit. Like your behavior is causing the deficit. Stop it.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah,
Stop.
absolutely. Yeah. All right. So Bill Gates, right? Want to talk about the Bill Gates divorce?
Mr. Microsoft.
Mr. Microsoft, one of the richest guy, I think the fourth richest person in the world
Hundreds of
right
billions
now.
of dollars.
Yeah, he's in the news because of this divorce with his wife Melinda. And who cares, right? Essentially,
Pretty much, right?
Celebrities, rich people get divorced all the time. I think it's interesting that that he's one of the richest people in the world, and just knowing like how much money
is on the line.
Is on the line
Yeah.
is interesting as well. But there's a reason why we're talking about it.
Oh yeah.
And the reason is because recently, Bill Gates, the rumors have swirled that the divorce could be possibly because of Bill Gates' association with Mr. Epstein.
And it's more than association. That's what I hear.
So, according to divorce records that were filed May 4th,
Okay.
they're divorcing for
Irreversible. Right?
I can't think of the word, irrevocable differences or
that's not
irrevocable differences, irreparable differences.
Sure.
Something like
I've
that.
heard it before.
Yeah.
Dum,
and,
dum.
and essentially what's going on is, there's no real details coming out. But according to sources, this is, I think, reported by the New York Times. According to sources, the divorce proceedings really started. Melinda Gates really started talking to lawyers about divorcing Bill Gates in 2018, right around the time that the Jeffrey Epstein news broke.
That's 4 years ago, by the way.
Yeah.
So they've been talking about divorcing each other for a long time.
And it's finally out. By the way, they've been married about more than 25 years.
So you've been married for 2.5 decades, 3 decades, one of the richest, probably the richest couple in the world. Philanthropy, all this, that, and a third, and yet something was irrevocable. Something pushed you so far away that you can't go back. And that Epstein thing is one of those things,
Right?
I think. Right?
I think that's one of those deal breakers. You're married with somebody for 25 years, and all of a sudden you get divorced. It's usually because you find out he's like a kid diddler or something.
It's got to be bad, right?
Or been having an affair. Who knows? They agreed to separation contract to divide all their assets. Of
course.
So, he's not really trying to
Fighting
fight
nothing.
too much,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
$130 billion fortune, according to Forbes.
Wow.
They've got $131 million lakeside compound in Washington that I thought was funny because it's called Xanadu 2.0. So apparently they're in possession of a rare Leonardo da Vinci notebook.
Wow.
And a ton of Microsoft and Four Seasons stock. So there's $130 billion. She's going to get close to half.
Yeah,
right?
if not all the half.
Does that not make her one of the richest women in the world?
In the world, right?
Off
Billions,
rip?
right? 75 billion if you cut that in half, like 60 billions, whatever. Yeah, right off the bank. And she's not just his wife. She is co-chairman of this, co-chairman of that.
Yeah, they have a
CEO
charity
of this.
together. Her name's on the
So
marquee
she's
and all
a
that.
boss in her own regard. But to your point, he's nice and quiet. He's been, from what I saw, he's been MIA for the last 3 months. Like, you haven't seen him. He's holed up in some $1 million golf club where nobody can get in for the last 3 months. Because why? Because he knows something's coming.
It sounds very Trumpian of him. Isn't that crazy? Epstein did the same thing. As soon as y'all get in trouble, y'all retire deep into these little communities where police can't get in.
The media
without
can't either.
you. The media or police can't stand around, can't get in without you knowing.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I will say this. According to sources, according to Melinda herself, she says she was uncomfortable with their relationship.
She said that.
She was uncomfortable with their relationship because she had bad feelings about Epstein. They hung out a multitude of times and even spent late nights. Bill Gates spent late nights at his apartment in Manhattan and took multiple trips to Epstein's little island, his little Lust Island. Yeah.
There you go. I mean, his wife, his own wife, her words were it's like, I didn't like him. I don't like your friendship. I don't like him. I don't like what he's doing.
Yeah.
Like,
and the messed up thing, here's what really raises my eyebrows, because it's all hearsay, right? But Bill Gates went on record in 2019 in an interview with the Wall Street Journal and said, I met him. I didn't have any business relationship or friendship with him. This in referring to Epstein. Why would he lie about that?
Lie, straight up
And
lie.
now, today, his lawyers are saying that they work together on philanthropic research and stuff like that only.
Oh,
so why did you say you didn't work with him, and now
why
all of a
not
sudden you
say
did?
that back then, right? Bro, I want them all. I've said it before. I want the Clintons. I want the Gates. If Bill freaking Gates, Mr. Microsoft, who I thought was Mr. Philanthropy, you know, he got a lot of hate.
Who doesn't love Bill Gates?
That's what
Bill
I'm
Gates,
saying.
you know, his little freaking cute little mugshot hippie shit from the 70s.
Look at that
We all
smile.
love Bill Gates.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, look at that smile. So he said, you know, he went to Harvard, dropped out, did some parties. Like, the media right now is trying to kind of slander him a little bit by putting out his wild parties back then. He had stripper parties. He
Yeah,
was
a couple of hoods, couple of strippers. Yeah, they party.
You're rich, you're young, you're not married yet, you know. And I heard from his friends or what I saw that he was very faithful to his wife when they were married.
Okay.
So I don't play too much into that. But, my friend, Bill Gates, man, I thought, don't judge a book by its cover. Yeah. I totally judged Bill Gates. I thought he was a good freaking guy. And again, all this is allegedly, but my point is, like, I want them all, man.
He's one of these billionaires who has sworn to donate more money than he keeps.
That's what I mean.
You know, so he's really into that. Like, I think they have 3 children, I think. And I believe what he leaves behind to them when he passes is less than 1% of his fortune.
Okay,
which
Mr.
is still,
Gates.
you know, probably hundreds of millions of dollars. So there's no doubt that the guy has definitely done a lot of good for the world. Yeah. But I agree. If you touched one kid, if you knew that Epstein was and you didn't do anything about it, you stood by.
I don't think you go. I don't think you go to that island. His wife said you went to that island multiple times. I believe her 110%. You don't go to that island multiple times. You don't take that private jet multiple times and not know what's going on. The wife, Melinda, said, I didn't feel good about your relationship, so she got a feeling. She must have heard something that gave her a wrong feeling. You're telling me that Bill Gates didn't feel that same feeling, but instead went multiple times to that island? The damn gardener at the island, right? We saw the Epstein's documentary. The gardener knew what the hell was up.
That's true, yeah.
So
there's no way.
There's no way Bill Gates, if he was his friend, as the reports say, didn't know. He knew. And you're going down, Bill Gates, if you even, oh, man. Shout out to the feds, man, because I think
the feds have been putting in work this year.
We're going to talk some more later, too.
People.
But, yeah, shout out to feds, Uncle Biden, man. Like, I don't care.
I don't know who took,
whoever, bro.
We should know, and I don't know who took care. But I feel like the FBI went from, a few years back messing with hip hop stars and just knocking down doors of small time, weed guys, to taking down the real monsters out there. These people who just live these
the real criminals,
ridiculously rich lives. I'm just talking about lives of excess, success. Every want and need of theirs is met.
Easily.
Doesn't matter what. And then they're never caught. They have unlimited power. They have unlimited power, and they're never caught because of that money. But guess what? In 2021, there's no such thing as privacy.
I don't see it stopping either. I'm just reverting back to the last 4 years, and I remember, Donald Trump shitting on the FBI, like shitting on the director of the FBI. Yeah. Pointed the finger and said, you fucking suck. So I don't know if this is like, all right, we're getting back at it. This is what the FBI does, right? These are all your homeboys. We're going to federally bureau or investigate your ass. And whatever we find, we going to come get. Sure. So I'm hopeful that we get them all. Okay, we get them all.
Yeah. Shout out once again real quick to anybody out there watching the live right now. WJHM102jams.com, thepodheads.com, all that good stuff. We're out here smoking our volcano bags.
Oh, man.
Got some perp in there. And I'm just feeling great right now.
Love it. Love this contraption.
But yeah, Bill Gates, man, I don't know.
We don't know.
I don't want to judge them,
It's all allegedly.
until we know. But if you did.
Yeah.
If you did the dirt, you need to go down.
I am perfectly fine saying, I am a fan of Bill Gates, but it will completely change if it's proven.
Throwing my Xbox out the window.
Kicking that shit, PlayStation all the way. Yeah, I'm going to Mac, bro. I'm going to Apple. I'm going to Apple anyway, but this was just another reason why we would switch over, because I want nothing to do with people who get more powerful, more rich by exploiting anybody underneath them, whether it's race, age, sex, all this stuff. I have no remorse. I have point blank zero remorse, because bro, the shit you're doing is fucked up, and you use your power and wealth to get around it. And that's why, bro, it's coming, and I'm excited, man. I hope it's.
They're gonna make a movie about this
time, right?
Yeah, about this time, exactly. Like, you ever seen Spotlight, the movie? I think it was called Spotlight, about the news. I think they were Boston news. The news company that exposed the priests for diddling kids.
Yes. I don't remember, but I know the
good
movie.
Okay. Mark Ruffalo in it. Yeah,
okay.
Good movie. But like, it's gonna be something like that, where there's a witch hunt. There's a witch hunt right now.
They're coming for
anybody that either knew of or supported anything like that when it comes to diddling kids. And it's funny, because the last 20 years has been the war on drugs, the failed war on drugs. And I think that people are realizing, what if we just let people do what the hell they want to do? What if we just legalize cannabis? And maybe there is no war on drugs.
There isn't. I mean, there really isn't.
There really.
You help the people that need help, and there isn't a war. There isn't a war, period. Like, drugs might die off by itself. Like, legit. If you
might fix itself. Who knows?
Might fix itself. But you're propagating it. I mean, and we could talk for days about the war on drugs, but I think we are seeing a transition of fucking drugs. Okay, fine. Let's get away from that.
We're getting these little fish. We're locking up these crackheads and these small-time drug dealers. We're wasting time, money, resources to lock up bums, bro. Nobody's. Meanwhile, these monsters, these billion-dollar titans that affect everyday life, affect the world, are running around doing whatever the hell they want.
And the U.S. of A is coming for you, baby.
Coming.
The Mr. Hoover's building.
Hoover's boys.
The Hoover boys
are coming for you, Mr. Gates.
Yep.
Anyway,
I hope so.
Look, we're up against it. We got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the other Gates. The Gates with a Z. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. It's the Podheads Web Show.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
Smith.com.
You can call him at 407-801-2667.
Wait, you are not Chuck.
My dad can help when people get hurt. He loves to help people.
If you are ever injured at work or in a car accident, you should call my friend Chuck.
You can call him at 407-801-2667.
That website again is cwsmith.com.
Offices, Orlando.
Does it actually have that much W's?
Over 40 years, Lighthouse Central Florida has provided education, independent life skills, and job training to thousands of Central Floridians who live with blindness or any degree of vision loss. Whether it's picking out clothes in the morning or just moving around your community and serving Orange, Seminole, and Osceola counties, contact Lighthouse Central Florida at 407-898-2483 or visit them online at lighthousecfl.org. Aw, Dad, my computer's slow again and I can't play my games.
Call Your Computer Solutions today and we will scan for viruses and clean that computer up remotely and make it fast again. Our phone number is 407-826-0810.
Thanks, Dad. My computer's fast again. Now I can do my homework. Thanks for calling Your Computer Solutions at 407-826-0810. Oak Ridge Gun Range is a family-oriented shooting range that has been in business for over 30 years. They specialize in basic firearm training and offer numerous services such as consignments, gun trades, gunsmithing, and concealed weapon classes. I even got my training for gun safety at Oak Ridge Gun Range. Great customer service, and firearm safety is what they do best. So find out more at oakridgegunrange.com.
Thank you for sticking with us, folks.
Yes,
we are
sir.
back here in the Cypher.
Smoke weed
Frank the
every
Tank,
day.
JB Perez. You already know how we do here. We are lit. Feeling really good. This volcano ain't no joke. I had to put the bag down. Anyway, Podheads Web Show at WJHM102jams.com on social media, at Podheads Web Show on social media. Shout out to anybody on Twitch watching, the Twitch community out here.
Yes, sir.
YouTube, Facebook, all that good stuff. We definitely appreciate it. And we're on here every Wednesday, 7 p.m. You can catch old episodes on thepodheads.com, on WJHM102jams.com. We've got over 100 episodes out there. Good stuff, funny stuff, interesting interviews, great topics like this, controversial stuff. Anyway, speaking of controversy, Matt Gaetz. This one hits close to home because we're talking about cannabis, right? Up until recently, Matt Gaetz was kind of this hot shot. This newcomer
takes a lot of selfies.
He does take a lot of selfies. This newcomer to the political landscape, right? And everybody was like, "Oh, who's this hot young freaking politician? This champion of legal cannabis,
right?
Of medical cannabis in Florida."
He was a leader in that, yeah.
In recent months, we're learning that no, he's just the same old scumbag politician that hooks up his homies, and that lies and does dirt behind the walls. We just spoke about him about 2 episodes about his relationship with Joel Greenberg, and how he could possibly be linked to child sex trafficking.
Yep, another one.
Well, news has just come out. That is basically reported from, I believe, the Tampa Bay Times are the people that broke it. But let me just read the headline to you here. Less than 24 hours before the Florida legislature passed the state's first medical cannabis law in May 2014,
right? Matt
Gaetz and other members of the state house rewrote the bill to limit who would be able to gain... Who would be able? I gotta show JB's freaking out here.
I almost had an aneurysm when you said in the last minutes rewrote it.
So Matt Gaetz and a bunch of other lobbyists got together to champion this medical cannabis bill back in 2014, and bam, we got legal medical weed, right? And that changed the game in Florida.
Sure.
Okay. Economically, socially, health-wise, right? Everybody was really happy about it. Well, what nobody knew was that 24 hours before the bill passed, Matt Gaetz got together with his homies
the night before
and rewrote the bill to make sure, basically in layman's terms, that only him and his people, only the people that he wanted to, right, could really benefit off.
Could afford or could do whatever.
Yeah. And take that with a grain of salt because there are tons of people, millions of people who have benefited from legal medical cannabis here in the state. So before I even get into trashing this guy, let me just hit the balance. Let me give you a little balance, right?
Balance me out.
Right, yeah. Other smoke shops, right? Smoke shops.
True.
Doctors.
True.
Dispensaries.
A lot of
people
money.
Who really need it.
A lot of money.
Have benefited, both financially and, physically. So... let's just throw that out, okay? Even the Nazis came up with the Beetle.
I was just gonna say the Volkswagen and rocketry, okay?
So I'm just saying, I'm not comparing these guys to Nazis, but still, okay. So basically, the brother of Gaetz' friends and fellow state reps, other politicians, and even doctors, all friends of this guy, basically benefited directly from Matt Gaetz. We're talking about people this guy knew personally and worked with before. And he rewrote the bill the night before to make sure that people like them would be here. So let me give you a list of these people.
Isn't that a word like fraternization? Like, what?
Yeah, you're not allowed to do stuff like that.
Right.
Usually government bids are supposed to be blind, right? Government contracts, things like this. And that's what the bill was all about. When he rewrote this bill, the idea was supposed to be so that they even the landscape.
Right.
Okay? The wording that he used was they wanted to prevent people from being able to fly-by-night businesses from being able to just come out of nowhere and
get a marijuana license.
Exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
sure.
One of it was that they required a business to be a nursery that had been established for over 30 years. If that was like a basic requirement to get
the first requirement is you need to be a farm for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
4 people in the whole state would freaking qualify for that. Like, legit. Like,
yeah.
This is what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
We wrote this the night before.
So let me give you a list of.
Just getting hyped up, man.
Let me give you a list of the people that benefited from this, because this kind of blows my mind. And you tell me, JB, what you think. All right. A friend of a friend, all right, and State Representative Halsey Beshears. He co-founded one of Florida's first licensed cannabis companies and amassed a fortune that's currently valued at more than $600 million.
Ooh, so a friend of a friend.
This guy got a license, okay? Now he's a major Republican Party donor, okay?
Not surprising.
A Panhandle developer and client of Matt Gaetz' law firm who invested in another one of the state's first cannabis licensees, and who, according to financial court records, roughly tripled his money in 2 years.
Look at that. I mean, really?
Yeah, right?
So that's the thing. Like, what you're telling me is that these guys become investors in a particular... Like, so by rewriting it this way, they, in a sense, chose which businesses are going to be the ones that get licenses and then started investing in them.
Think about this. The fortune, tripled their fortune.
Are you kidding me? After 2 years? Yeah. What investment can you do that? In medical marijuana.
Yeah.
In medical... I'm like speechless because I feel like I'm taking crazy
The list
pills.
goes on, bro. The list goes on. Ballard Partners. This is a Tallahassee lobbying firm. Ballard Partners. All right. They until recently they employed former state representative Chris Dorworth. All right. This is somebody that Gaetz described as a legislative mentor. So
okay,
definitely
so
cool. Yeah. The firm was given an investment interest in at least 3 companies that eventually won. Each of them won cannabis licenses. One. That means they bidded. These are, again, supposed to be blind bids, right? These companies each won cannabis licenses and are now earning $160,000 in lobbying fees.
You scratch my back, I scratch yours. I mean, that's all I hear. Quid pro quo. Like, I know that's illegal. And yeah, I feel like every year, especially in Florida, and we hear a news story where in a blatant disregard to the government, they don't care.
The rules are made up. The rules are made for poor people. The rules aren't made for those in charge.
You said earlier it felt like this pretty boy, we talk about him taking a lot of selfies. He's a decent looking guy. Like I feel like he told all his boys, like, yo, watch this, guys. I'm gonna get elected, okay? And I'm gonna give you guys all jobs. Watch me. And it feels like that's all that happens, man.
And then you know how these conversations
government shouldn't be like
they say, I'm sorry if I sound weird. I'm sucking on a can of gummy here.
Look at that.
Just trying to keep the thing going, keep
Jolly
the cotton
Ranchers.
So, you know how these things go. All this business happens in the middle of the night, back rooms. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Right? Now this goes on. What do we got?
I hate that they do it at night. DeSantis did that too. At 11:59, decided to rewrite it himself. Like, stop. Government works for the people. The people tell you what to do, not you. You are just a figurehead in a way. Like, in a sense, you're supposed to do the will of the people, but it doesn't seem to me this is the will of the people.
Absolutely. Here's another one. Another one of Gaetz' friends. A hand doctor that works in Orlando. Dr. Jason Pirazzolo. He helped craft the 2014 legislation and then started, several cannabis businesses, including a consulting firm that worked with companies applying for cannabis licenses.
Okay, so he had his hand in all the cookie pies. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, you have the will of the people is not, it is, they don't give a F. They don't care. Like, you thought, okay, medical marijuana, this is to help people and spread the wealth because you know it's coming. But what they did was We wrote it at night and hoarded it selfishly, illegally, like assholey. You guys are all assholes, especially because you're messing with the cannabis community and its legalization in this country. Because people see this and hear this, and they just keep getting that bad feeling about cannabis for people that have nothing to do with cannabis.
Yeah,
I hate it.
The people smoking it aren't the problem.
No, they're not.
It's the people making the laws about it.
It's not the first
These guys
story
are
we hear
crooks.
that all
These
of them.
guys are crooks.
And I hate that Matt Gaetz, Florida Republican, is still working today. And
he's in our House of Representatives
right now.
Yes.
Still tweeting, still talking
an elected
shit.
official. And this is why we tell you.
I don't like it.
Forget about the White House.
Don't like it.
I mean, half the stuff that comes out of the White House really doesn't affect you on a daily basis, other than just raising your blood pressure. Pay attention to what's going on in your backyard. It's the people. It's your ballot that you're Christmas treeing. Just keeping whoever's in office.
Idea.
Not paying attention to who's going on. These people are literally bending you over a barrel.
Yeah, changing people's life for real. What movie is that from? Huh? I didn't know. Yeah, dude.
I want to fire off a couple more before we go to break.
Okay.
Gaetz also worked with some of these same friends in other arenas. 2019, Gaetz, Beshears, and Dorworth, we just talked about those guys. Also, Pizzoro, the same doctor I just mentioned, were all involved in efforts to replace key leaders in the agency that runs Orlando International Airport. Now, this little agency is obscure, but this agency is in control of hundreds of millions of dollars and dozens, if not hundreds, of contractors and vendor.
Yeah, bro. I mean, these are facts. These are
These guys are like working to create power moves, bro.
And that's what I mean.
Control.
Blatantly. Don't give
putting their homeboys and then giving the jobs and the opportunities to their friends.
Bro. That's not what this, especially in the cannabis industry, the cannabis community. This was supposed to be for the people, by the people, for the people again.
Yeah, you're ruining weed.
You're ruining it.
Stop ruining weed, man.
Yes, damn. And again, I'll give him one bit of credit for being the guy who wrote the cannabis line, even though his intentions were fucked. Because I know he didn't write that cannabis law to help the health of the Florida people. Trust me,
That's how laws are made. Even the Constitution, bro. Yes, it's great and it helps a lot of people, but for the most part, it was written to benefit those who wrote it. I mean, it is what it is. That's politics, I guess, what you could say.
Yeah,
but I bet when you voted for somebody like Gaetz, you didn't think that all the opportunities that you were supposed to get were going to go to his friends. Listen, we got to go to break. When we come back, we're going to finish this story and move on to the economic impacts of cannabis in the U.S.
Good news.
Yeah, the main joint. So stay tuned. We'll be back in 2 minutes. The Podheads.
Yeah.
The Tiberius Show would like to thank Boggy Creek Airboat Adventures for being one of our sponsors. I got to go on an airboat and saw a real gator. I even got to go to the gem mine and mine for some gems. We ate a steak dinner at the restaurant and even got some gator rights. If you want to have a blast with the entire family, I suggest you go to www.bcairboats.com right now. Get your tickets today. The website again is bcairboats.com. Mid-State Fire has been providing top-quality fire equipment services for 3 generations to the Central Florida area. Don't wait for an emergency to repair. Call Mid-State Fire today at 407-246-8855. Get your fire extinguishers and emergency lighting for both your home and businesses by visiting www.midstatefire.com. That number again is 407-246-8855. Over 40 years, Lighthouse Central Florida has provided education, independent life skills, and job training to thousands of Central Floridians who live with blindness or any degree of vision loss. Whether it's picking out clothes in the morning or just moving around your community and serving Orange, Seminole, and Osceola counties, contact Lighthouse Central Florida at 407-898-2483 or visit them online at lighthousecfl.org.
The Tiberius Show would like to thank one of their dedicated sponsors, Custom Designs Orlando. These guys are on Mills Avenue and do all sorts of stuff, ranging from photo ID badges, engraved signs, custom braille ADA signs, vinyl lettering to trophies and awards. The cool part about Custom Designs is they can ship products all over the United States. You can reach them at 407-898-0373 and tell them that
Tiberius
sent you.
Yeah, welcome back. It's JB Perez, Frank the Tank. We're the Podheads. Hashtag Weed Wednesday. Shout out to all of y'all's. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch. Y'all, I love y'all out there. At the Podheads web show. WJHN102james.com. Thank you guys for hosting us. And we're doing it again. We're finishing up on the last segment, smoking some weed. Let's finish talking about weed and cannabis. Give me some good news instead, rather than all this bad news coming out of Florida, man.
Well, I just want to emphasize before we move on, the BS coming out.
It's bullshit. Yeah, it's total bullshit.
Gaetz, why is this important? Number one, it's important because it involves cannabis, and that's what we're all about, right? That's our passion. We advocate for legal cannabis in all forms, everywhere. And, if I'm being honest with you, it pisses me off when people try to take advantage of things like that. It's a natural freaking plant. And you're not supposed to be able to patent that. You're not supposed to be able to control things like that. But
the weed.
It is what it is. Anyway. But the big news, the big reason why we are so much on Gaetz's case is because he's under investigation for child sex trafficking violations, and this is linked to a September 2018 trip. Let me tell you this, bro. I don't know if you knew this, JB. But according to this investigation, now, remember, Matt Gaetz was all in the clear. Then all of a sudden, Joel Greenberg
gets caught up.
Well, now, Matt Gaetz is linked to Greenberg. All of a sudden, they start looking at Gaetz. Now, they're linking these two guys and find that, damn, they've been paying money to some underage girls, right? Well, apparently in 2018, all right, in September, Beshears, Pizzolo, Gaetz and Greenberg took a trip to the Bahamas, and they went with several young women, and this was reported by CBS. So this ain't just out my ass.
Wow.
Yep. Investigators have also learned about a conversation between Dorworth and Gaetz about recruiting a third-party candidate to help their friend Jason Brodeur win a state Senate election last fall. According to the New York Times, a similar alleged scheme in South Florida race has led to charges against a former lawmaker. So, I mean,
they're all homeboys, like legit all homeboys, and they're already when you say that, it makes me awestruck because not only are you ruining cannabis for me, but you guys are the same assholes that are probably diddling kids too in this state. Like, you understand? Like it's this Illuminati group of assholes. Like a group of people, of rich people. It seems like they all get together, and once you have money, you start doing really nasty shit. Like almost, I don't even know where I'm going with this. Just
it's like life isn't thrilling enough for you anymore.
You could have everything,
right? Like your tolerance is like you smoke too much crack, so you can't get. You're chasing the dragon. You don't have any thrills because the money. Life has gotten boring for you because you've done everything that money can buy.
So you
except the taboo.
Yeah, so you just do stuff that you know is bad.
You've heard of these like societies that are going out there and like eating elephant steak and like trading
just
like
cause
rare animals, killing and hunting endangered species.
Right.
So like they don't know what else to do with their time and their money to get thrills. So they're like, why are so many rich assholes diddling kids?
And why are these rich assholes in politics? Like, I hate that they're the ones that get in. But you know what you said, rich assholes.
Shout out to Rocky.
Rich assholes, money. In this country, politics is controlled by how much money you can put behind it.
Absolutely.
So,
So I don't know. Just remember.
That's crazy.
Pay attention.
Bro.
Pay attention to your backyard politics because, I mean, damn. Regardless of whether you lean left or right, you gotta lean no on touching kids, and
right? No matter what, right? No matter who you are.
So even the most Trumpiest Trumper, even the most diehard Republican has gotta at least admit that that
Zero
is wrong. And
tolerance.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Anybody who has their back, anybody who tries to again, where there's smoke and there's fire, and all this is allegations, but the FBI is on the case. Shout out again to the FBI, to the feds, because they're going after you no matter who you are. And again, we'll see. And I think it's coming. I think the news is coming.
Absolutely.
I hope they get all of you.
Yeah, get them all.
Get them all, for real.
So lighter news. Like I said, I just wanted to put that out there. But lighter news, good stuff. I wanted to talk about the economic impacts of cannabis in the U.S.
Okay.
You know, the recent census has revealed information across the board about all kinds of interesting things in the economy involving money.
Okay.
And so recently a report from, I think it was MJ Factbook, put out a study that they conducted that they call the economic impacts of cannabis in the U.S.
Okay.
And this thing covers everything from jobs to tax revenue to commercial real estate.
Great.
So
great. That's what we need to
cannabis
hear.
in the U.S. is universally important. This isn't just about smoking weed. Like I said, it affects jobs. It affects tax revenue. It affects real estate.
Income.
Health,
Yes.
Right? Yeah. According to this study, the total U.S. expected impact from cannabis sales in 2021 is expected to reach $92 billion.
$92 billion.
And that's not cannabis sales, right? That is economic impact. That's talking about everything from a head shop being established, you know, and paying rent,
right,
to a doctor getting his license, you know, giving out license, you know, prescriptions and licenses, to cannabis growers. You know,
that is a huge
selling weed.
$92 billion. I think the deficit's in the trillions, but $100 billion is a dent in a deficit.
Oh my God! Yeah,
you understand? So
and it's up
huge.
That's 30% from last year.
Look at
so
that.
It's getting better. Like the more,
not even legal.
The more we learn about it, and you know, let me apologize for the I got a little bit of lag on my main camera. I'm not sure what the hell's going on. But just to emphasize, you know, this. It's up 30%. Mm-hmm. It's getting more popular, right? That means more people are smoking weed. Mm-hmm. More people are smoking weed. Mm-hmm. Okay, and it's affecting the economy in positive ways, right? 92 billion, you get up to 999 billion. You're getting in the trillions, right? Maybe we're making an effect. They're saying, the same report is saying that by 2025 it could be up to 160 billion. So extrapolate those percentages. Mm-hmm. And basically, the measure, it analyzed similar industries and applied a standard multiplier of 3.5 on projected recreational and medical cannabis retail sales. All right, the industry structure is a little bit unique though, because it encompasses, like we said, agricultural, manufacturing, a bunch of shit, and retail activity. So it hits home pretty big. I got a couple charts here.
Huge industry, man. A huge industry already, and it's not even legal in this country.
And you can see the chart right there. The effect that each state is having on a per year. Look at that. From jobs to tax, real estate, the impact of marijuana industry has a large growing impact on the broader economy. 2021 impact by state. Look at California.
Look at the legal states.
$20 billion.
Look at how green those legal states are. California. Look at Massachusetts.
Massachusetts is tiny compared to the size of California, and it's bringing almost the same amount of money in.
I mean,
compare that to the states that it's only medically legal. That's a big difference too.
Huge difference, and then compared to none. Like Idaho, I'm looking at you, and you get $0. California's in the whatever that is, 19 billion, whatever that is.
Yeah,
you get 0 of that because of what? Your ignorance, your crooked politicians, your special interest groups.
Yeah, think about that. If you're one of these diehard guys that just are totally against cannabis, think about the Republicans, think about the Democrats, think about the politicians that are voting against it. Think about what they stand to gain. Why? If there's so much money and these are helping the economy, states like California are bringing in $20 billion a year.
that would not be there by allowing a plant to grow. Like, it's drinking crazy pills. Like, what are you to gain by not doing this? Is it crime? I challenge you to find me a study that says legalization increases crime. Is it health? I challenge you to find me a study, and we can go back and forth all day. I challenge you to find something negative. There's the challenge. Give me something negative that I will open my eyes to about the legalization of cannabis in this country, because I can't really see one right now. All I see every year is 30% more, 30% increase in this, in revenue this, health this, opioid crisis less, helping over here. Like, all I see is positive, 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 positive. And when places like Idaho and Nebraska, I saw it had $0 coming from that, I think that is a purposefully move to deny your people help. It's nothing else. Don't call it crime. Don't call it war on drugs. Don't call it that, because it's not that.
And this money that I'm talking about, we're not talking about like $20 billion. We're not talking about money that's just generated in sales going to private business owners. We're talking about money that is getting put back into circulation, into the economy.
Right.
Okay. According to a study, in this case, every dollar that consumers and patients spend at retail locations on cannabis, an additional $2.50 will be injected into the economy.
Look at that.
And much of it at a local level. Cannabis businesses, consumers, and patients also pay hundreds of millions of dollars in state and local taxes. And those fund local government things,
else.
Roads, schools.
Right.
In addition, real estate receives a boost for new retail, manufacturing, and agricultural businesses.
Right, new real estate. You need the buildings, right? Bro, I think that should be the headline of the cannabis. $1 equals $2.50. I would put all my money, my mom's money, my daughter's money, in any business that could tell me I can turn my dollar into $2.50, guaranteed. Yeah, guaranteed. This is what the numbers are showing. That $1 equals $2.50 back into the economy. Isn't that what all these politicians cry and say, vote for me, I will make this happen in the economy. I will make your dollar into $2.50. Here's an answer.
Here's how we do it. Legalize it. Yep.
Legalize it. Stop being whatever. Yeah. Legalize that shit.
Absolutely.
What are y'all doing?
I'm obviously the numbers are there. Right?
Yeah.
I really don't know what else to say. On a personal level, the people. Here's a chart for weed per person. This is how much each state on a per person level people are contributing to cannabis. So you see right here in places like Florida, $130 per person is being spent on retail cannabis. In places like Cali and Nevada, places like Nevada, look at that, almost $2,000 per person.
Wow.
Think about something
on
like that.
average. So you go from Florida from 100 to 2,000. I mean, here's another number for you. Dude, any business, any economic person will tell you marijuana is good business. And you're lagging behind if you keep lagging behind.
Yeah. I think it's simple as that. The numbers don't lie, folks.
They don't.
But that's
Legalize
it, right?
That's it.
We got to show.
Yep,
we got to get out of here. We appreciate everybody that watched, man.
Definitely.
Shout out to the people on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, all you guys. We're going to keep doing this, man, despite the damn technical issues.
Man.
But we appreciate you guys watching, listening, WJHM, all those people. We love y'all. We'll be back next week, 7 p.m. It's the Podheads.
Yeah.
Oak Ridge Gun Range is a family-oriented shooting range that has been in business for over 30 years. They specialize in basic firearm training and offer numerous services such as consignments, gun trades, gunsmithing, and concealed weapon classes. I even got my training for gun safety at Oak Ridge Gun Range. Great customer service, and firearm safety is what they do best. So find out more at oakridgegunrange.com. Aw, Dad, my computer's slow again and I can't play my games.
Call Your Computer Solutions today and we will scan for viruses and clean that computer up remotely and make it fast again. Our phone number is 407-826-0810.
Thanks, Dad. My computer's fast again. Now I can do my homework. Thanks for calling Your Computer Solutions at 407-826-0810. The Tiberius Show would like to thank Boggy Creek Airboat Adventures for being one of our sponsors. I got to go on an airboat and saw a real gator. I even got to go to the gem mine and mine for some gems. We ate a steak dinner at the restaurant and even got some gator bites. If you want to have a blast with the entire family, I suggest you go to www.bcairboats.com right now. Get your tickets today. The website again is bcairboats.com.
The Tiberius Show would like to thank one of their dedicated sponsors, Custom Designs Orlando. These guys are on Mills Avenue and do all sorts of stuff, ranging from photo ID badges, engraved signs, custom braille ADA signs, vinyl lettering to trophies and awards. The cool part about Custom Designs is they can ship products all over the United States. You can reach them at 407-898-0373 and tell them that
Tiberius
sent you.
A great marijuana. That is the purpose of this meeting, ladies and gentlemen.